Hello everyone, we're here at Business Insider with breaking news. Pepe is in danger. We have to save the frogs. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious. And today, we're going to talk about my favorite Pepe, also known as Keku, the representation of Kek, the Egyptian god of primordial darkness. So here you can see, frogs are dying off at record rates. An ominous sign, the sixth mass extinction, is hitting one group of creatures the hardest. This is by Alan Woodward, and we're going to read the story. Our planet is in the middle of a mass extinction, the sixth time in Earth's history that animal and plant species are disappearing in enormous numbers. Amphibians, particularly frogs, are among the hardest hit by this extinction crisis, as are insects and reptiles. So as you can see, frogs are dying, and like I said, frogs are the representation of Kek and Pepe. We have to save them. At least 2,000 species of amphibian are in danger from extinction, according to a recent study. A report from the United Nations confirmed that 40% of amphibian species are threatened. Here are 15 photos of creatures that may soon disappear. Okay. So human activity has killed off 680 mammal, bird, reptilian, and amphibian and fish species since the 1500s. As much as half the total number of animal individuals that once shared the planet with us are already gone, the death toll is likely to rise dramatically over the next decades. A recent report from the United Nations found that between 500,000 and 1 million plant and animal species face imminent extinction, at least 10% of insect species, and more than 33% of all marine mammals and reef-forming coral are threatened, it found. You know, that's actually kind of terrifying. Mass extinctions are generally not good news. The nature can adapt. However, if the environment is changing too fast, then nothing will be able to adapt. This leads to a cascade of horrible effects. It will not be good. But one group is expected to suffer most of all, amphibians. An estimated 40% of amphibian species face extinction, according to the UN report. A study published in the journal Current Biology estimated that at least 2,000 amphibian species are in danger of extinction. This group includes frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts. Save Pepe! We have to save Pepe! He's the most powerful frog on Earth. In the past 50 years, more than 500 amphibian species have experienced population declines worldwide, and 90 of them have gone extinct due to deadly fungal diseases called chytridiomycosis, or chytrid fungus, which corrodes frog flesh. This disease is clearly sent from the devil himself. We must save Pepe from the demons. According to a recent study in the Journal of Science, chytrid fungus has wreaked havoc on frog, toad, and salamander species around the world. Amphibian deaths associated with chytrid fungus represent the greatest recorded loss of biodiversity attributed to any one disease. Oh, that's scary. The authors found humans enabled the disease to spread further than it otherwise could have, in large part because of global wildlife trade. Once again, we do what we do best. Kill everything. Dutch photographer Matthijs Kuijpers has made it a personal mission to capture images of many of the colorful and bizarre amphibians before they disappear. His work is published in a new book called Cold Instinct. Oh, that makes me feel so much better, right? Like, yeah, let's take pictures of the dying frogs and animals. How about we save them? Save the frogs. Hashtag save the frogs. Most scientific evidence points to one conclusion. Earth appears to be undergoing a process of biological annihilation, largely due to human activity. This brilliantly colored yellow skink, a type of lizard, is severely threatened by logging and deforestation. It lives on the Solomon Islands in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, this one's kind of cute. One of those species is the giant bronze gecko, which was recently rediscovered in Seychelles off the east coast of Africa. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature lists the gecko, which Kuijpers said hangs out in the Coco de Mer palm trees, as vulnerable to extinction. In the image above, he captured the gaze of Dios Sudhep bent toed gecko, which is native to northern Thailand. To him, that means no distractions. So Kuijpers photographed many of these animals against black backdrops or removed background foliage when editing. The Paradura lohatasasara, shown here, is a critically endangered gecko species. Its native habitat has been reduced to one remaining patch of rainforest in Madagascar. Kuijpers said, the gecko's name comes from the Malagasy words loha, which means head, and tasara, meaning beautiful. Only male Cameron dwarf geckos sport polychromatic skin, as shown in the photo. These critters live in Western and Central Africa. His work reveals a special fascination with poison dart frogs. As many of you well know, these are frogs that many tribes, they use the poison that they secrete for their barbs, which they use for hunting. I personally find that kind of crazy. What if you accidentally poison yourself? The strawberry poison dart frog shown above has strikingly neon colors and is the most poisonous of its froggy brethren. These frogs' bright colors serves as a warning to predators. Toxins in their skin can paralyze or kill potential threats. The blue poison dart frog is native to the Amazon. Dart frog toxins can induce heart failure and convulsions. Ugh, can you imagine that? Being lost in the jungle and you accidentally touch the wrong frog, then you have a heart attack? You've dishonored the great Pepe. Is that it, Pepe? Was I not a believer? Did I not give my praise? Praise Keck. The golden poison dart frog is native to the rainforest of Colombia. It is the largest of the poison dart frogs, and it lives in social groups among the wild. Fascinating. Kujippers told Fast Company that it took him weeks of explorations in the mountains of Suriname to capture this magenta accented toad on camera. Oh, that's a really nice one. It's possible that this type of stub-foot toe may have gone extinct since Kujippers photographed it in 2017. Yeah, so we're losing animals at an astounding rate. I don't necessarily think it's a problem per se, but if so many animals are dying this quickly, yeah, it could easily be a big problem. This photographer said he wants his book to serve as a time capsule of the cold-blooded species on Earth. The black pond turtle, native to South Asia, is listed as vulnerable to extinction. It boasts striking white spots. Kujipper said that just one rat or one cat could decimate the entire population of this animal, the Union Island gecko. Aw, man. One rat or one cat could absolutely wipe out this species. That's sad. The entire population of this gecko lives on a single cliff on Union Island, part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Caribbean. The IUCN listed as a critically endangered species. Only 200 of the Guatemalan bearded lizard pictured above remain in the world. They live in a single valley in Central America, Kujipper said. The animal has yellow spots on its back and rings on its tail. Oh, this is a really nice picture. The experience allows him to get detailed close-up shots of fast-moving creatures like this gecko. Oh, and I believe you can see the camera in the reflection in the eyes. I could be wrong there. What is that? The gecko pictured above is native to Madagascar. It is listed as endangered. Kujipper said part of his goal in photographing these reptiles is to remove misconceptions and fears that many people have about cold-blooded animals. Oh, so kind of like Steve Irwin, he really loved reptiles, crocodiles, snakes. He never hated them and he thought they were beautiful. The Mangshan pit viper shown here can reach lengths up to 6.5 feet. Native to southern China, the venomous snake likes to languish on logs near game trails before ambushing its prey. Okay, that sounds scary. According to the St. Louis Zoo, there are reports that this snake can spit venom at would-be predators, like some fellow cobras. So definitely not a snake you'd want to meet in the wild. Even seemingly intimidated creatures like the poisonous Siamese Peninsula pit viper are vulnerable and disappearing at unprecedented rates. And that's the little slideshow they have here. Different animals, so. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to kind of talk about the frogs. For example, with Alex Jones, a lot of people think that he's just a madman and that what he says isn't true. But maybe his most famous line, "The chemicals in the water are making the frickin' frogs gay." That's an absolutely true statement. Frogs are very sensitive to pollutants, and a lot of our pollution can cause the frogs to become hermaphrodites, to have birth defects. It really messes them up. So what I noticed about a guy like him is he says a lot of truthful things, but he says it in a vague way, so that you can't exactly pinpoint what he's talking about. But if you actually go back and you listen to him, a lot of his stuff has sources that are completely true. So Pepe is in danger. We know that much. We know the frogs are dying. The question is, what can we do about it? Is this sixth mass extinction going to signal a cascade of bad events that could possibly rock the world? I'm not sure, my friends, but I do know it's something worth looking out for. Just a fun little scientific story. Hope you enjoyed. I hope we can save the frogs. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about the frogs? Do you think we can save the frogs? We have to save Pepe. It's the best way to praise Keck. But let me know what you think. As always, if you want to support this quality content, you can do so by joining me on Patreon, Subscribestar, or donating via PayPal. Again, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.